Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Morgan Harper, and today I'm here with Emily Chapman, who has a really interesting background, a very cool story to share.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? It's nice to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. You look fabulous. I love the earrings. I'm a big sparkle girl, so yeah. But from glamour, there's also a backstory here to some football.
Yeah.
From what I hear, from what I'm told, and it is football season, so this is very appropriately timed. Yeah. You're from Berwick. You've been here your whole life?
Yep. I grew up here. I went to school here, elementary school at Berwick Huzzy School, and then transitioned. I actually went to the old high school for 1 year before the new high school was built, and graduated from the new high school in 2004. And from there, I went to New York City. I was like,
what brought you to New York City? Like, that's a big change from Berwick.
It was. I knew that if you didn't get out of Maine, it would swallow you up. And it was one of those things that I wanted to experience things and real life things, you know, that
Sure.
you couldn't be offered on a traditional college campus. And yeah, so my first year, New York City, you know, my college campus was literally Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
In Columbus Circle. So it was, you know, such a change from where we are here and how I grew up. So my mom always jokes and says that I traded Carhartt for Coach, but
I like that. That's cute.
so, but I came back, so, you know, it works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when we were there, Midtown Manhattan, there's no housing like a traditional college.
Okay, so you just have an apartment somewhere in New York.
They put you up in long-term housing in a hotel, so it's like much different, and you do have a group of kids that you're with that go to school with you, but along that, there are people that live there all the time, and that it was up on the Hudson River in New York City. Oh my gosh. Riverside Drive. It was so fun.
Did you ever have like a Carrie Bradshaw moment where you're just like walking through the streets?
No,
got
because
cute heels.
you know what? I never really like. I was always a tomboy growing up. My football career actually started here. I played peewee football for the Noble Squires here, and that was like my claim to fame. But I mean, I just loved football in general, and it made me feel the most free because I was an athlete.
Were you the only peewee girl?
Yes.
For the school?
Yes.
That's intimidating.
You know what? It was really hard during the time. It was 1997, and girls really weren't accepted to be able to play in those roles. And a lot of the dads, you know, they're rooting on their sons, and to see a girl come in and flatten their son out, it's not always received the best. Yeah. But I held my own. I had two brothers growing up, so they definitely roughed and were tough with me. So
Did they play also?
They played sports throughout here and there, but they didn't play football. Like nobody really stuck with football.
So that was your game.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Okay. And so you took that football to your college career.
So from living in New York the first year and living how we were in the long-term hotel, I was like, you know what? I got to be able to find something that's cheaper, that's better. So I ended up finding something in Brooklyn. Long story short, I ended up moving in a room with the general manager of the New York Sharks.
Oh, what?
And
ironic.
they were having tryouts, and I was like, this is like all my dreams ever come true.
Oh, wow.
Because ever since I was little, I just wanted to play football, but I'm short in stature, so you know, to be able to play against men and boys, it became very like defeating.
Right.
But, you know, to know that there was a women's league and that I had a fair shot and that I could compete and keep
What
up.
an opportunity.
Oh, my God. It was everything I had ever dreamed of.
How long has, like, the New York Sharks is a women's league?
So the New York Sharks actually have been bought out, and they're now the New York Wolves.
Okay.
So they're changed formats.
Sure.
So I'm a former Shark myself, and I will always be in my heart. But I do know that they have changed titles. A few of my teammates have gone on, and they actually have come to play around in Boston.
Oh, cool.
And have done a lot of things, and they're affiliated with the Patriots a little bit. And so some of them are really doing well. They're winning championships. and taking women's football to
Next
that
level.
next level.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more proud to have been a piece of that along the way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely part of the whole fabric of the history of, the whole story.
Yeah. It was the most liberating time, but it was very challenging from coming from Maine and moving to New York City, and then, finding that I wanted to still put in sports and trying to go to school and do all of those
What
things.
were you studying at the time?
Communications.
Okay. And is that what you graduated with a degree in, or?
Yep, fine arts. So I actually went to school. I wanted to be a sideline reporter.
Okay.
For, the NFL and being, hey,
Just involved in sports.
I loved it. There's nothing better than it. So
Yeah.
it's fun. It makes your blood pump. It's something that you should be doing.
So when you found out there were tryouts and you got a spot,
Yep.
what was that like, the experience of going and being like, I'm up against my possible dream situation, the pressure is real?
It's amazing, but the reality of it is it's women's football, and the other teams, you have to travel. So it costs a lot. There's a whole lot of an investment. Other than your time and your commitment and your physical stature, it becomes
It's a full-time job.
a huge commitment. I was lucky that I didn't have a family and kids like some of the women that I played with that were remarkable and set the tone, for women in general as well. I'd like to, now that I'm a
nod to
mom,
them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're incredible. But,
So when you got the spot, you found out, like, you're on the team. What did you do? Did you, like...
I called my mom.
Yeah.
I told her. She just couldn't believe it, just because she knew I was always defying the odds, and there was never.
And there you go, just doing your thing.
Yep, and she just thought New York City. Oh my God, my little girl going to New York from here. I don't want it to swallow her up, but I was lucky enough to just like be braver than most of my fears, and
That's not easy to do.
No.
To surprise yourself like that and work that hard for it.
Absolutely.
So what was the experience once you're on the team and you're practicing? How did you balance school with that?
Great teammates. Finding ones that could come pick me up at my apartment and help me get from, our I would live in Brooklyn, but our practices would be in Staten Island or the Bronx.
Wow.
On different nights of the week. So the
Running
traffic
here, there, and everywhere.
Absolutely. And then for home games, we'd play at the Aviator Complex in Brooklyn, and that was an experience in itself. But it was always busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always stayed on with the team, and it was nice that I don't know, it just became a family, and it was just, it felt like
Camaraderie's real.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Absolutely.
So, football, doing it there in New York City, what were some of your highs and lows? Do you have, like, a moment that really challenged you, or a moment that, was like, just you could not believe the success that your team had?
That's a great question.
It's a big question.
I think that, I don't know. That's a tough question.
It can be small moments, too,
There are so many.
Yeah, lots to pick from.
Yeah. I think one of the highs probably for me was having been, this is my homage, and then go to school in New York City and coming back to play here. One of the teams that we played was in Portland.
Oh, wow.
And so I had the biggest fan base at home, so we're in New York and they're coming, but everybody's cheering for us, and my team didn't expect that. So
yeah,
that was kind of a fun thing. And I think I even broke records. I hold the record still for the team for most extra points kicked in a game.
Go girl.
Yeah. So I think that record still stands.
That's amazing.
And I think that's from that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's when you have that support and people rooting you on, it really makes a big difference.
Yep, absolutely.
What advice would you give to other women, either in that league or in women's football, or any little girls today that have an interest?
There's so many more opportunities. Get involved and just learn the game. Go play. Be athletic. Don't put yourself in one lane. I think that I always constantly tell my kids to play different sports in different seasons because you're working different parts of your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you bring it back to football, and it's literally a combination of everything. And you're running, you're throwing, the agility. And it's also like a chess game, so there's a lot of mental.
Yeah, for sure.
And then add kicking, it just becomes, the match that it becomes, how mental and emotional it becomes. I just loved the physicality part of it. Mm-hmm. It was invigorating, actually.
Well, it sounds like it. I mean, I'm excited. My son just started flag football at the Berwick rec field, and he is having a blast.
Well,
and they're not allowed to tackle, but he has taken a couple of the kids down. We had to be like, Chip, you have to stop. Like, save it for the helmets.
Well, you know what I say is that as long as you contain that fire. And you don't, we
don't want to put it out.
You want the fire to keep you warm, but you don't want it to burn your whole house down. So as long as you contain them and you teach them the game, there's so many different things. People get traded all the time and they have to learn different offenses. So you could learn something and then have to be thrown into something completely different. And that's the name of the game.
You got to be flexible. You got to pivot.
Yep.
All right, so when you're getting ready for a game, do you have like a pump up routine? Is there like a jam that you always listen to, a snack that you must have?
Ooh, no, probably not. I probably wouldn't be able to eat because of the nerves.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things that you'd have to go pee 10 times. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, calm the nerves because of the excitement and the adrenaline. It was just like, couldn't eat anything because then you'd puke.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame you. All right. Well, is there a football Sunday snack? I mean, there's all the good stuff. The buffalo chicken dip. Is there like a staple in your household?
No.
Not in particular?
I think everything's good, when you tailgate and the more the merrier, the bigger, what I mean?
Variety's always good.
Yeah, that's what I say. Why limit yourself?
Yeah, I like that. Do any of your kids play football now?
No. My son did play for a short time, but then he started having seizures.
Oh, that would,
So we kind of have strayed away, but he's found his way back to soccer, and
that's great.
Loves it just the same, and he's doing well, so that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, and I think, does your mindset that you've had, that you've built over time participating in sports, have you been able to help sort of coach him when he's been struggling with sports?
Absolutely. Both my kids, my son's a freshman at Noble now, and ever since, I look at the teams now, and I've coached over half of the kids out there.
Wow.
My daughter's in the youth program that my mom was on the board that started. So it's full circle, you know what I mean?
That's
Coming
beautiful.
back and being a part of this community from where I'm from and where my roots are and watering it like that. And I may not be in football, but, team sports and knowing how and what your community needs. And it's the kids.
Yeah.
It really is. And they will make a difference one day because somebody believed in them.
I love that. Absolutely. So you participate, you're a coach.
Yes.
I guess, talk us through that.
Ooh, I guess I can't help but coach everything. I guess, soccer season right now is, I love soccer, so I couldn't not coach, especially with my daughter. I feel like, I was telling somebody the other day, with the girls especially, you have to pump them up and you have to let them know that they need the confidence to walk into a room and show everybody that they belong in there just as much as everybody else.
I totally agree. I think, I am biased maybe being a woman, but I feel that. Having the confidence to step into a space and feel like I deserve to be here is sometimes very challenging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that I think, and seeing it in their eyes and knowing that when you share that with somebody and they reach for that and you make them better, I think pieces of that along the way, when you've planted that, like, it's like planting a garden and it just blooms and blooms and blooms year after year. It's incredible to know that, like, yes, I don't get paid, but I do get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the satisfaction of watching the kids play with my son in high school and
see them improve and keep going.
And even the girls in the program that are thriving, and I couldn't be more proud to have been a piece of their journey as well, and I hope that they know that I'm always supportive of them and their successes.
I'm sure that they do, based on, how you coach and how passionate you are. I'm
Thank you.
sure that comes through,
Thank you.
Yeah. And so I hear that you're also a fellow coffee lover, because like I have like a caffeine addiction.
Yes.
So I hear that is also true maybe for you?
Yeah. So it calms me down a little bit, because it's like you have that coffee and everything's okay.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
It's that one constant in your life, right?
It's the daily ritual.
Yeah.
And so you work for Aroma Joe's or with Aroma Joe's?
I do.
Okay.
With Aroma Joe's Northeast, and I've been with them for a little over a year now, and I love the ability that they give me to be able to give back to the community through them, and the athletes, and we have sponsored different kids. Last year we did the stiletto run for Big Brother, Big Sister, and it was the most fun. So using those things that's me, you know what I mean? But to just highlight different things, and it's fun. It's really fun.
It's very cool when you can use your skills, your gifts, and do something good with them. There's no way that can't be successful.
You know what's really funny is that growing up playing sports, you never really know that's a gift until later, that people
perspective changes. Yeah.
And having kids and coaching different kids and abilities, and not everybody has the same knack for something, but that doesn't mean that their heart's not in it. So you can't underestimate that person who has the heart either.
Right. Yeah, true. And their gift might show through another way.
Yep.
So is Aroma Joe's your career there? Is that what brought you back to Berwick from New York, or how did you get from?
No, I came back from New York, and I actually got pregnant and started a family and started raising my kids and was focused on that. So that's been the priority.
That's a whole phase of life. Yeah.
And then when I was getting ready to like get my feet under me and get back to, it was just like the pandemic hit. And it was just like flipped everything upside down, and it was like, what's realistic at this point?
Right.
So I went to school. Somebody called me up from the high school and asked me if I had any interest in coming and working one-on-one with a student who actually had epilepsy. So it was like life-changing. That was right before my son did. So it was
like that.
Having
timing.
That little bit of skills to know what was going on with my son was
right.
really
sometimes
beautiful.
There's like a reason for everything, right? That feels like one of those moments where it's like you were given that opportunity.
And
so
to go
you'd be
back
prepared.
to Noble, where you were growing up and as a child, and you think that like everything's stacked against you, you know what I mean? And coming back at a capacity that it really was up to me. You know what I mean? You are the driver of the vessel.
Yeah.
And it's up to you and what you put into those things and what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, life's what you make it, right?
Absolutely.
I heard the quote recently that's been sticking with me, that if you think you win, or if you think you can win, or you think you're going to lose, either way you're right.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's what you put your mindset toward. It's how you put the effort in.
Absolutely.
So it's nice to know that applies.
I think it does.
Cool. If you were new to Aroma Joe's, what would you recommend on the menu for someone to try?
Well, it's fall, so I think anything warm or with some pumpkin spice is always fun.
Can't beat the PSL, right?
But, I mean, our rushes are very popular, so, I mean, it depends on what your tastes are. Not everybody loves the coffee, so...
True.
There's something there for everybody, though, so that's what makes it nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the customer service, especially in Berwick, is top-notch, so...
Yes,
keep it
for
up.
sure.
Keep it up over there.
That's great. How many Aroma Joe's locations do you know offhand are there in our area?
So... our immediate area, it's 19 locations, and then from there they broke off and started their franchise.
Okay.
So from there they flourished and have hundreds and hundreds out from New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. There's some, and then there's a few down in Florida.
Wow.
It's
and that's
mostly
all
the
begun
north.
in Berwick as well, right?
Rochester was the first hut that they had. Yep. But they are from Berwick, the families that,
Cool.
the cousins.
It's nice to be able to work with somebody that, knows your hometown, is familiar.
I think that's what makes it so fun. You know what I mean? And when I say, hey, there's these athletes here, or would you sponsor this? And they're so often receptive of that.
Yeah.
And to be a part of a company that highlights those things, it's one of those things that makes you feel good doing everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make it feel like work,
Right. Yeah. That's the kind of work that gives you inspiration.
Absolutely.
And what is your official title there, if you don't mind me asking?
Community relations.
Okay. Very cool. That's so neat.
Thank you.
If you had one piece of advice or one tip for growing confidence, because in those roles that you have, throughout your life, clearly confidence is something that is a must, right? Mm-hmm. How would you help someone else, or what would you tell me if I wanted to grow my confidence? What would I do?
I think that it's okay to rest, and not every day is that confidence visible. The sun hides behind the clouds, but it doesn't mean it's not getting up every day and doing its job.
Oh, such a great little piece of wisdom right there. I love that.
Thank you. But it's true. I think that, it's important to know that all phases are equally important to make you whole.
Yes, for sure. And it applies to the athletes too, right? You get a rest day once in a while.
Absolutely. They're just as
Those
important.
2-a-days get to be
just
a lot.
To be human. I mean, I think that's something that we forget often, is that we are actually humans. And that if you break it down, there's little that we really need, but we're so overstimulated with so many things. But
that's so true. Yeah, we wrap our heads around all of these things that we feel like we have to do or go do, and it's really let's bring it back down to earth.
And I think that's what's fun, is being involved with the youth, is that it's very present. You know what I mean? Kids, they're present in everything that they do, and they just want your attention. And when you're giving somebody something like that, a piece of advice or an encouragement, and they go and they take it and they multiply that, it's really heartwarming, you know what I mean, and fulfilling on another level.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Before we go, your favorite things about Berwick. Now that you're back, you've been to big city life, you're back to small town.
Oh my goodness.
What do you love the most about Berwick?
Let's see. Berwick, Maine. So one of my favorite things from learning in being back to the school when I came back to work, I had to read a book called Billy Boy. It's
I'm familiar.
About a boy named Billy who is from here during Civil War time, and you have to go read the book because it's really interesting.
I'm not going to spoil it. It is a super cool story.
But just knowing the historic piece that Berwick holds, I think that it's really amazing. There's so many things that with the people, you can't even name it because there's so many facets to this town that make it special.
It's true. Yeah, we see, in all of these conversations we have with people on the show, there's just so much uniqueness. It's very much a complex town. A complex town
in a really beautiful area where we're close to everything that you can, you know what I mean? And being next to the river here, that makes so much sense why things were accessible back then. And it's just, the farms and where and how people used to live. I think that people need to pay that, a lot of homage to, the historic part of what Berwick is. Yeah, we've been here for a long time, and we keep moving forward, keep pushing. Yes. I like it. If there's any recommendation for volunteering or a way to get involved to help to support sports in our town, whether it be at the schools or through the rec programs, do you have any recommendations for people that might be interested in getting involved? Just make a phone call. I think that's the biggest thing, is that everybody would probably lead you in that direction of, there's this going on. Hopefully you make it within that time period of signups. Mm-hmm. But usually most people are flexible because they want people and the numbers to grow, to build programs. So I think that just being involved and making that effort, too many people just don't get on the boat. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important, just to make that effort to be. And once you get involved, it can be intimidating to start something new, right? But once you just get in there. You're the only one who knows that, you know what I mean? Everybody else, there's plenty of first-timers. Yeah, everybody's having fun. And there's so many different things to learn from everybody. Yeah. And you know what I mean? The kids, maybe they're teaching you something. So
That could be a very rewarding experience then.
being with your kids, learning their friends, knowing, you know, who's around.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep them safe.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing about
Thank you
your
so
super
much
cool
for having
story.
me. This was an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Go next.